A man writes, would it be okay for me to talk to my brother about his sexual orientation before he talks to me about it? Or is it better if he comes to me first?
I would wait and let him come to you. I've talked to this with actually two of my gay friends, and they stand on opposite sides of the issue. There was one who felt like it wasn't a big deal when people asked her if she was a lesbian, as long as she didn't feel threatened in the situation. I had another whose mother said, "Are you gay?" and just kind of frustrated, and he was really off-put because he wasn't ready to come out. But there are some other ways that you could ask, something like, "Tell me about your ideal partner." So you're not just assuming that he's going to be heterosexual or homosexual. You could also respond to a well-known LGBTQ person in the media, or even just a fictional character. If you're watching a TV or movie together and an LGBTQ character comes on, take the opportunity to affirm that you are accepting and supportive of LGBTQ people. Educate yourself. You don't want to wait for that big coming out moment to start learning. There are many great websites. Stonewall, GLAAD, PFLAG is absolutely wonderful. It's the nation's oldest and largest organization for LGBT people and their families and allies. Now, I'm assuming you would be supportive since you're asking the question and you're wondering how to approach this topic. But PFLAG can also be a great place for you to work through your feelings about your brother being potentially gay. And this is especially true if your emotions are less positive. PFLAG has online meetings, and it's a great way to find people who've gone through similar experiences. Now, this kind of seems obvious, but obviously end any derogatory speech. So I'm hoping that you're not using any derogatory speech, but you could stand up against people around you. All too often, people will say, "That's just gay," meaning it in a negative light. So make sure to correct those people so that your family members understand that it's not acceptable.
Dr. Leah, a woman asks, I've heard you can get orgasms from doing yoga. My friend calls them yogasms. Is this true? And would it help me in the bedroom?
Well, I was a fitness director at two different universities and supervised numerous yoga instructors, and none of them had ever told me they experienced this. But there are unconventional ways to have orgasms, right? It could be a kiss on a neck or just making out. So even non-sexual activities can be said to induce orgasms. One of which might seem a little bit weird, childbirth. There are some people that can actually have orgasms during childbirth. So it makes sense that yoga, which is a practice that focuses on synchronized breathing and the lifting of the muscles from the pelvic floor, can cause orgasm. Plus, one of the goals of yoga is to strengthen the muscles in and around the genitalia. Mula Bandha is a practice of bringing up the root chakra up and in. Yogis believe that there are 7 chakras, which are the vortexes of energy. And the first and the second chakras are the sex chakras located in the pelvic floor. Supposedly, by connecting the root chakra, which is located at the base of the torso or perineum, which is the area between anus and genitals, so connecting this and channeling the root chakras into the heart and mind chakras, one can experience a more intense full body orgasm. Some yoga sessions are essentially just incorporating advanced Kegel exercises with a little guidance from an instructor. And we know that doing Kegel exercises enable women to have more intense orgasms with more control. When women engage their PC muscles through Kegels and the tissue around the G-spot, that can lead to climax. And yoga students often state that they see improvement in their quality of their orgasms. Supposedly, men can do the same practice and they can enhance the ability to prolong stamina in the bedroom and make an orgasm more powerful. Now, the peer-reviewed research on this is pretty limited, but the one thing the research does show is that yoga does strengthen your pelvic floor. Regardless, there are many other great reasons to try out yoga to enhance your sex drive. People who practice yoga are generally more confident in their bodies, and feeling strong and sexy is a great way to keep up that confidence, and it can also amp up the sex drive. Yoga also emphasizes mind awareness, and being in your head about your appearance or the stresses of your workday can really mess up an orgasm. And yoga teaches people to remove themselves from the current place through breath work and mindfulness techniques. Focusing on each body part and muscle group can be beneficial for orgasmic contraction. It's no surprise that yoga helps with flexibility in various poses because it increases your range of movement and teaches your body to support itself in those complicated positions. Even though it's a little cliche, flexibility legitimately plays a role in sexual satisfaction. It keeps it exciting, and you might be able to get yourself into a better position to stimulate your orgasmic spots.
If you have a question for Dr. Leah, please send an email to questions@allhealthtv.com. Find out more about sex talk. Go to askdrleah.com